how can someone be so naive not to understand that we're going to have an explosion of the black market? And you're not going to satisfy neither your economic, goals, nor your public health goals. You're going to make everything worse. So you're not going to protect anyone, and you're going to instead expose everyone to additional risks that do not exist. So what lacks in the EU is the balance. You need to have a balance, and you need to accept that you will never, and no decision will ever be 100% beneficial with zero unintended adverse effects. By trying to suggest that prohibition works, you are exacerbating the adverse unintended effects, and you're basically eliminating any benefits.
There's not just the people that are still currently using combustible tobacco, but there's tens of millions of people who live in Europe that have already made the switch and are using these products. They always get left out of the conversation here because they need to maintain access.
Yes, and already there is a lot of confusion even among these people, and unfortunately, the vast majority of them, when they lose trust to these products, it would be fine if they just quit using these products and not use anything. But the vast majority, and I'm telling this from personal experience, the vast majority of them go back to cigarettes. They relapse back to smoking. Very few decide to just abandon use of everything and just not use any nicotine product. Most of them, and it's very easy to lose trust on harm reduction products because there are stories almost on a daily, at least if not daily, on a weekly basis in mainstream news media. There are so many campaigns in social media from even anonymous accounts which act like bots basically, which means that someone is doing it on purpose. You know how many times I've seen social media videos about EVALI or popcorn lung disease, things that are not, currently a problem, but still in 2025, 2026, people discussing about EVALI, which was a situation in 2019 and 2020, for which we have official statements from the CDC and the FDA. So it's not a personal opinion what happened, or an assumption. We know what happened. No, 6 years later. I'll give you an example. Last year, Greece had a new tobacco and nicotine regulation for all these products. And there was a public consultation. And a representative of the Scientific Association of Respiratory Physicians, the Greek Scientific Association, went to the parliament and said, many young people die from vaping in the US because they use vitamin E acetate in the liquids. And I have a video in my social media channel showing experimental video at home, I did at home, showing that it is impossible to dissolve vitamin E acetate in any liquid because vitamin E acetate is lipid soluble, the e-liquids are water soluble, so they cannot mix, they separate in the same way that oil and water separates. And I have it on video. And these people are scientists, and they don't even know what the CDC and the FDA announced in 2019, 2020. They don't even know that the CDC officially stated on February 25, 2020, that we stopped tracking cases of EVALI. And now they pretend that this is something that is ongoing, that is happening all the time. And that's not the case. But there is no accountability. Who is going to hold them accountable for misinforming regulators? And of course, the citizens, because everyone is going to hear that.